Co-creation is working together for mutually beneficial outcomes. Co-creation of knowledge, and that's a project that we are supporting with Newcastle University, has 4 sectors working together. That's the university, the public sector, the private sector and the third sector. The bringing together of these different actors from the start makes it much more relevant to the people who would normally be seen as the users of knowledge.
A group of partners have been working together with Newcastle University to develop a set of resources for co-creation. So we've worked with those partners to come up with a set of key principles. Those key principles are threaded throughout the resources, and this video is one of those resources that draws upon case studies of people's own experiences in working in a co-creative way.
The problem the council and around 5,000 households in Newcastle faced was how to respond to the bedroom tax. We wanted to work with the university because they were better placed to get closer to understanding the impact on people's lives, and from that to help us plan to better mitigate the adverse effects of the bedroom tax.
So we undertook research in collaboration with the City Council. We were able to undertake research that was quicker than we'd normally be able to do, because they helped us get access to individuals who were affected and also organisations that were supporting individuals.
The Future Homes Alliance is an action research project. I brought together a group of people on the Quadruple helix partnership, so some colleagues from the university who are bringing that research perspective, from the City Council, Newcastle City Council, because this is where we're working, people from the business sector who had money and also had a different way of working, and also people from the voluntary sector because they had that link with communities and what if you want real people. So I felt there was a virtue in that sophisticated problems needed more sophisticated analysis and perspectives.
We started a project about 3 or 4 years ago to start looking at replacing the fleet with the Tyne and Wear Metro. And as Nexus, we have a lot of information about our customers, we do a lot of market research, but this being such an important investment decision, we really wanted to go that one step further and really start to get some really in-depth understanding and engage with people in a way that we haven't done before.
Nexus came to us at Open Lab because we have a history really in using more creative and participatory methods of research, and we wanted to apply that in a project to get Metro users, Metro non-users, to start with their experiences of using Metro to inform the design of the new train.
At Cogni Health, our mission is to improve the lives of people affected by dementia. So we've actually developed an app called Cogni Care, and Cogni Care is specifically designed to support carers of people with dementia. What we wanted to do with Cogni Care is we wanted to create something that is evidence-based. So we wanted to work with research. And we're currently building a new feature. It's a feature to track symptoms of people with dementia. And for that feature building, we reached out to the University of Highlands and Islands to do a co-creation project together. What we did is we had an initial meeting where we all met up and we discussed what our goals were, what we were expecting to get from this project, and why we were involved in the project in the first place. So I travelled up to Inverness for that, and that was a really good way to get started.
I agree. I think it's really important that Julia and Cogni Health has come from an academic background. Interestingly, as a early stage researcher, I also have some insights into working in commercial organisations. So I think that was definitely helpful, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I think what's more important is the fact that we build a really cohesive approach to our team working.
We stayed in touch very regularly, we set very tangible goals, and from the outset I think everyone was on the same page.
The project that we're doing at the moment is a participative research project looking at health inequalities in Dundee and Glasgow. So specifically working with children and young people in those two areas for the project looking at health inequalities has been really important actually, because we're working in one school that we had an established relationship with, and the school in Dundee is one that we'd never worked with before, and it's a local authority we've not done that much work in. So being able to build a sort of really strong, trusting relationship with them from the beginning, and I think it's just about ongoing dialogue and trusting and understanding the needs of the different partners that are involved.
With the school that we have an established relationship with, that's because we've done good work with them before. Absolutely. And they've got something out of it, and their children have enjoyed it and the teachers have found it beneficial, and so they've been happy to work with us again. So having that longer term relationship is really helps as well, and it being a positive experience.
I think one of the challenges, and I know Barbara and I had it initially, is being an engineer. It's basically tell me what you want and we'll build it. Whereas what I had to learn and the technologists had to learn is there's a soft side to a project. So this is about human beings and what they want and what they need and how to address that. Well, it's very easy for us to come up with the technology. We had to learn to blend the soft with the hard.
I think often from the voluntary sector perspective in this type of project, you can often feel like the poor relation and you probably ought to just sit there and listen. But actually what we did right from the beginning is that the involvement both of older people in our case, but also of practitioners. So there was a co-design process that also involved occupational therapists and people who supported older people. Actually, quite early on in the project, that became a core principle of what we were going to do. So time and space and money was invested in that process. And I think that, in a way, gave us confidence that we had as much to contribute to the process as the engineers who might have to come up with the solutions, but that actually we had to help create those solutions.
The other thing to mention was that we didn't just kind of hit the ground running with this project. There was about 6 months or so when there was conversations between Nexus and Open Lab about kind of getting to know each other really. And we were very fortunate that Nexus was so open to the kind of methods and the tools that we were using or proposing to use in the project. But that was the result of a series of conversations where we got to know each other. And part of that was Nexus understanding how we had previously worked and the kind of activities that we've done and demonstrating previous work and showing them the kinds of tools that we have. But also I was appreciating that, Nexus had to deliver something here.
The research that we've done, it was called The Confidence to Move Forward, and it was by Fife Participatory Action Research, and it was involving homelessness, unemployment, health inequalities around Fife, and it was working with the different organisations and the different, third sectors that, can bring about a good change for the community, and how we can empower people and help them move forward in the right direction.
Also is obviously understanding the area. We're from Glasgow and Fife was a new place where we've not been, so without those integral partnerships we wouldn't have been successful, and the relationships that those organisations have with each other and the staff within them that really bought into what we thought and what we wanted straight from the get-go, which was dead refreshing. So then they were super committed, and then they were taking that information and passing it back to their organisation. So they were influencing change from obviously our researchers and sharing a new way of working that can bring bigger benefits and have a more stronger impact and improving people's lives and making them healthier, happier.
I think that from the offset, I think we were very, very keen and very able to establish goals around shared decision-making principles. So those initial stages of forming the project, I think it was very evident that shared decision-making was absolutely important. And I think as well that because the project is around dementia. I think that as well as shared decision making, I think shared values became really important for us as well, and that is ultimately about improving the lives of people with dementia.
Yeah. And I think we all worked from that. That's what we wanted to achieve, and whether it's that by publishing a paper and adding to research, or whether that's by creating a new feature for our app, at the end of the day, we're all trying to help people living with dementia.
First of all, we were able to build on the networks and the relationships that the council already had. It takes a while to build up trust, and because we were able to work with trusted individuals who themselves were working with the City Council, that, if you like, helped us and slightly bypassed it and made us able to undertake this research more quickly.
For me, the project was the start of a culture change, of building in understanding of the impact for individuals, which has led to a number of things. We received £1 million of government funding to be an early adopter homelessness prevention trailblazer. That's contributed to Newcastle being a relatively successful city in responding to the challenges of welfare reform and austerity. So being able to balance a greater understanding of the impact on individuals with an aggregated state response has been invaluable, and it's grown, and it started with that work.
The other learning point was perhaps that the research absolutely doesn't finish with the report, as we know, but because we had a group of people, of partners, both the funders, the employability workers and managers, and the peer researchers themselves and the university, who were all really committed to change. That process of dissemination and getting the results out there was very live and active, and was equally involving.
Yeah, sometimes it can be tokenistic. You use that resource and you take their stories and trauma to benefit your own workloads, but then you forget about what about the people who have contributed. So I guess legacy is really important, and that, as Lisa said, yeah, the research is really important, but building that relationship and the dissemination are huge, because it's about taking the wins that we've managed to get and travelling those voices and stories that we've came across in the research and try and take it as far as possible.
A lot of opportunities within the project, and that's one of the amazing things about it, is it brought about so many, it opened so many doors for the individuals who took part and the different peer researchers, and I think that's so great, because it does improve their confidence, and it's made a huge difference to not only my personal self, but to my career and my education as well. It's gave me the insight and the spark to move forward.